G'day, I'm Ash, welcome back to the channel. I do apologise if there's black bars on this and you're seeing that because, well, yeah, I play this game on an ultra-wide monitor most times these days. I sometimes forget that when I'm playing this game, I also need to use it for content occasionally. So rather than just having an ultra zoomed in screen, you'll be able to see what I see for once, which is quite a remarkable field of view. Anyhow, today we've been talking about bots. Now there's no featuring or mentioning, showing of accounts here, but essentially, I've noticed an increase in bot activity recently across all the game modes, and from what it is basically, you know, bombers flying straight lines in realistic battles, bombing a base and then flying off the edge of the map, or even just aircraft and scripts and various other script kiddies that have wrote scripts intended for, well, you just basically fly across and do nothing. I mean, bots are nothing new. This happens in naval with a dead-ass accuracy in naval, which is a bit of a problem. Many naval content creators have talked about the plague of bots. Galshan's done nothing about it. Heck, they've even done it for simulator battles, and a lot of the simulator community has talked about some of the botting measures that they've tried to put in, such as timers and, you know, respawn zones and all sorts of other things, and paying silver lions to spawn in right from the get-go as well. That's another thing that they've also tried doing in order to really combat the effectiveness of bots, but again, it seems to be negligible. And while we had this roadmap, nothing mentioned anything significant. The recent boycotts were such a massive part of this game's dedication in this future that it really surprised me that they didn't mention anything about the countermeasures for, you know, forbidden game mechanics or modifications, or, you know, people who were cheating, for example. So I know Easy Anti-Cheat isn't exactly the most, I guess, secure platform for you to be using, but fucking just get your shit together, Galshan. You will see accounts with thousands of battles in singular types of aircraft with weird wacky numbers for names, and predominantly all they do is fly a single vehicle, go kappa bomb. They'll go either kappa point, do nothing for the rest of the match, or they'll destroy a bombing point and then fly off the edge of the map. There are thousands of these accounts just running around, and obviously they buy a premium, so Galshan have kept them around. So my biggest thing is, you've seen them all. They fly AFK. Some players do it intentionally, and I don't think that's really what we're here to talk about. The play style is a lot different. You just notice when they're bots. When you look at them and they're just acting a bit funny and there's no response from them, it just feels a bit off. You know you're dealing exactly with that. Nothing but a bot. And they're easy kills. You know, if I want this game to fill with bots, I just turn it into PvE mode. There is no bloody point fighting other players then at that point in time. It's supposed to be a game about fighting players. That's where most of us get the enjoyment from. It just strikes me as a bit odd that, you know, now the bots have penetrated air realistic battles and even tank battles in a regular format, that we're having to really talk about what kind of bots you see in games. This is not my screenshot, but all of these guys have thousands of battles. They do indeed have a couple of hundred matches in the same vehicles. They're all flying the same direction. They're all dropping on the same bombing point, and they're flying in formation at a relatively low altitude level. So why is it that naval bots, particularly Ju-88Cs, base rushing bots, A5Cs, Kafirs, zombie bombing and then climbing to space with scripts, and stolen accounts taking, you know, stock bomb loadouts on MiG-29s and F-16s and just bombing bases and crashing into the ground afterwards? You know, it's quite remarkable that we have to really deal with this much, and it is ridiculous. I can't be the only one that has noticed the bot plague recently. Let me know in the comments down below if you have actually seen what I've been talking about, seen or understood at least what I'm talking about here. These are no regular players. These are basically just computers set on accounts that basically run the game as one client, and then they'll either illegally sell the accounts or grind out a whole entire tech tree over a period of thousands and thousands and thousands of games. Essentially, I didn't play for 10 years only for the game to really turn into a PvE MMO. really doesn't make sense that 5 to 6 of the players on the enemy team are just bots. And I have seen this occasionally. I've been holding my tongue because I've seen this prevalently throughout a series of matches, even just as I've been playing casually. Other creators have also reported seeing them in helicopters and helicopter PvE. Heck, half the simulator community has been screaming for years about the prevalency of just scripted bots that run and fly across maps only to, you know, shoot at a couple of things and then die. So, I don't know. The meta seems to be changing here, and the fact that there is a new types of scripts that allow multiple accounts to formation and basically box themselves in is quite interesting in itself, and I don't know what to say here. Again, the question is, what is Guardian doing to prevent some of these accounts from basically just running 24/7? And EAC, or Easy Anti-Cheat, won't catch bots, but for a while, all I've seen is basically around the premium battle ratings that we can just buy directly into the game. There have been at least a couple of bots with thousands of games and thousands of deaths with hardly any kills, and they've only been going after bombing bases. Essentially what Guardian were doing were basically, they hadn't really done anything until the community had a bit of an outcry, essentially when they botted the airfield takeoff rewards, and basically all they do is they take off land, take off land, take off and land. And they do this in Simulator because that's where they get the most rewards. So again, it's literally going to result in more botting, so it's quite interesting to see. It needs to stop. It's a hard thing to combat, but ever since the Chinese servers have been taken down, I have noticed a clear night and day difference between players acting a bit strange and just, when I mean strange, I mean full out just, you know, not responding to any shots, you know, or any sort of incoming fire or noise, or, you know, not using their gunners. But then you go into naval and you'll be hit from stuff like, you know, like crazy. It's almost like they have aimbots in a way. So I don't know. Something's got to be done, and it really has to be done soon, because you want players to stick around in your game that's 10 years old. People have figured out how to play the game, and if you can write a script for an aircraft to basically do a certain set thing on a certain period and certain different maps, and tell it to look for a certain icon and to drop the bombs then, that's not a hard thing to do. Maybe I'll have to experiment with writing my own code and see how we go from there. Let's be real, I'm too stupid to do that, or that I can't actually be bothered. Someone will have videos out there of how to write your own scripts to do X, Y, and Z, but it's not hard to do. So I wonder how Guardian will implement changes to address the many bots that are coming into the regular game modes. Anyway, that's food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you seen bots that have been running around? And more importantly, what do you think Guardian should do to help increase their very relaxed laws on allowing botting to occur? Obviously, these guys are buying premiums, so what does it matter? I don't know. There's something a bit off here. Anyway, if you want to enjoy the Atomic Heart event, we'll have a video up on that one soon, relatively soon. So enjoy that while you can, weird robot peoples. Yeah, there's another April Fool's event running in the middle of July. It's very strange. My name is Ash. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.